Hello everyone, I am your Lori. The trailer for Sony's Spider-Verse spin-off Venom 3, The Last Dance is here. The screenwriter of the first two films, this time he is the director, screenwriter and one of the producers. Although the reputation of the first two films is worse than the previous one, but the box office is still good. It belongs to the category of it's worth watching and scolding. So what does the Venom 3 trailer say? Let me chat with you guys. In the preview, Eddie strolls through the streets of Mexico wearing a floral shirt and shorts. Looking for tonight's midnight snack. The last time I saw him dressed like this was in the post-credits scene of Venom 2. Venom and Eddie, now fugitives, went to Mexico for vacation. At the same time, in the Disney Marvel main universe, that is, MCU, Spider-Man Peter is interfering with Doctor Strange's spell. After a series of twists and turns, shifting the universe, several major villains related to Spider-Man were transported to the main universe. This triggered the plot of Spider-Man 3, No Way Home. And at the end of No Way Home, Doctor Strange once again cast a spell to forcibly send all the uninvited guests back. At that time, Eddie had just learned a bit about the customs of the main universe from a local bartender. He suddenly emitted a golden light all over his body and disappeared. He was sent back to the Sony Spider-Verse by Doctor Strange. Before leaving, he also left behind a piece of symbiote fragment. Remember this bartender with a bun head and this symbiote fragment? Gotta study later. In short, due to the well-known copyright tug of war between Disney and Sony behind the scenes of Spider-Man, Venom's cameo in the MCU is like thunder without rain, only appearing in post-credit scenes. Venom's cameo in the MCU is like thunder without rain, only appearing in post-credit scenes. Came in a daze, left in a daze. A flash of gold and back to the Sony Spider-Verse. Thus begins Venom 3, the final dance storyline. Okay, the recap of the previous story is finished. Let's continue watching. Viewers who have seen the first two parts all know Venom has three things he won't eat. He won't eat good people, passers-by, or acquaintances. These three things he won't eat are Eddie's rules. He only eats bad guys. So Eddie takes Venom to a villain's stronghold. Looks like an illegal dogfighting ring. After some chopping and slicing, the dog is set loose on its master. Then comes the classic scene of devouring the ingredients. Venom and Eddie shout out, "We're Venom, together." Unfortunately, they couldn't synchronize even after 3 tries. Remember this foreshadowing. Obviously, it's meant for a cool moment in the big showdown. Next, Venom crackled and eliminated the pests. He also saved all the dogs effortlessly. The above plot is very likely to happen in the first act. The purpose is to explain the character's status. Next, it's time for the villain to appear. The scene shifts to a secret alien research base similar to Area 51. Passing through a dark passage to enter the facility. Oh, isn't this Baron Mordo? Killing aliens instead of sorcerers now, huh? Of course, this is just the actor Chiwetel Ejiofor playing Baron Mordo. He took on a job with Sony. He plays a US Army colonel in the movie. He is brought in by a female doctor played by Juno Temple, visiting various samples of Venom. Thus, a team against symbiotes was established. Let's just call him Colonel Mordo here. And the next scene is definitely the most mind-boggling part of the whole trailer. Colonel Mordo's anti-symbiote task force arrived at the bar where the bartender with a bun is located. The bartender has let down his hair by now. Colonel Mordo then captured the blob of symbiote fragments. Here comes the question. The bartender and the symbiote fragments both exist in the main MCU universe. But Colonel Mordo is a character from Sony's Spider-Verse. How did these two different universes intersect? Could it be that some supreme power is intervening again? Think about it. The TVA of the MCU and Doctor Strange can access the multiverse. But Sony's side definitely can't do that. Looking around, on Sony's side, only Spider-Woman can do it. But it's limited to various Spider-Man variations. Pondering over this, apart from the possibility that the anti-symbiote task force has mastered time travel technology, the answer is the only thing left. Sony came up with a new setting that no one knows about. That is, in the grand finale of No Way Home, when Doctor Strange closes the time rift. A bug occurred where the Sony universe and the main MCU universe were teleporting to each other. For some unknown reason, the bartender and the symbiote shards were teleported to the Sony Spider-Verse. I'm not making this up. Remember the post-credits scene with Mobius? The MCU's Vulture suddenly crossed over to the Sony universe. Sony still hasn't explained why this bug occurred. It seems like they don't plan on fixing this bug in the future, but if we follow this setting, the bartender and the symbiote shards should have been teleported along with Eddie at that time. Wow, it's a bit chaotic. Let's see how Sony resolves this. Maybe in the actual movie, this scene is just a dream, or maybe it's just gone. After all, Sony has done this before. Remember the exclusive shot of Morbius in the trailer? At that time, everyone thought Morbius was going to team up with Spider-Man. Turns out, that shot doesn't even exist in the actual movie. Even the director of Morbius was left confused. In short, one thing. Venom 3 might be connected to the MCU. However, Venom 3 connecting to the MCU seems unlikely. Alright, let's keep reading. Anti-symbiote squad chasing Venom. Eddie and 6 big guys play in the water and electricity. The next scene takes place in Las Vegas, Nevada. Look at the background featuring the MGM Grand Hotel, the distant Trump Hotel and Planet Hollywood Hotel. This is indeed the unmistakable gambling city of Las Vegas. Eddie hitchhiked his way here. The trailer has reached this point. The plot of the first half of Venom 3 is also almost clear. Personally, I guess it might be like this. Venom and Eddie are hiding out in Mexico. They were chased by the anti-symbiote task force all the way to the US-Mexico border. During this time, they learned about the intelligence of extraterrestrial symbiotes in Area 51 in Nevada, as the military only talks to them with guns. Venom and Eddie want to get rid of these evil symbiotes again, so they decided to head to Area 51 first and then make plans. So, Eddie rode Venom's horse back to the United States through mountains and valleys. This physical activity made Venom hungry and temporarily went offline. It's also possible that they had to travel incognito on foot. Eddie hitchhiked on the side of the road. He finally caught a ride in a car going in the same direction. Heading towards their destination, the famous Nevada known for its casinos in Area 51. Eddie changes into a little suit to perform the disappearing neck trick. Also saw Mrs. Chen who came to vacation at the casino. Venom swaggered out and danced with Mrs. Chen, intentionally attracting military attention. The purpose is to be captured and sent directly to Area 51, and the kind person who had close contact with Venom. It seems like they were also captured and isolated for observation in Area 51. The above are all speculations, please don't take them seriously. Moreover, judging from the plot revealed in the trailer, the actual plot should be simpler than I thought. In addition, these kind people who let Eddie get on the car, it seems like each of them has a story. Doesn't this uncle look familiar? He is the actor who played Dr. Kurt Connors in the Amazing Spider-Man Reese-Ifans. The little boy on the car, according to leaks from the internet, is Peter Parker, who is 10 years old. The person next to him is Aunt May, and the story of Venom 3. It is rumored that Venom triggered his cosmic level high consciousness, realizing that this 10-year-old Peter will become his future archenemy. He was about to kill, but was stopped by Eddie in the end. But now it seems that the main storyline of the story is not like this. Instead, Venom's home planet sent more symbiote family members to hunt down Venom. But considering the series' budget has always been stable, $110 million is only enough for 2 or 3 Venom extravaganzas. So don't be fooled by the appearance of many Venom family members in this scene. In the actual movie, they may have just landed and combined to form this symbiote. Or rather, what truly poses a threat, only this elite yellow-blooded creature. The rest are nameless foot soldiers, red-blooded creatures, and the Toxin attached to Officer Pack in Venom 2. In the comics, Toxin is the grandson of Venom. He is born from the antagonist Carnage in Venom 2. He is the 1000th generation descendant of Venom, with power surpassing both Venom and Carnage. However, as the host is a righteous police officer, Toxin initially starts out as an anti-hero. We have previously covered Toxin's story in a special video. Those interested can go check it out. In the movie version, Toxin may initially stand against Venom. Eventually, teaming up with Venom to defeat the symbiote will make it more exciting. Okay, we've analyzed the trailer up to this point, and we've pretty much figured out the overall storyline. Currently, Venom 3 seemed more like a road movie. In the first act, Venom and Eddie have a good time in Mexico. The anti-symbiote task force is formed. In the second act, Venom and Eddie escape from Mexico to the US border. Then, they head from the border to Nevada, where action scene is set in Las Vegas. Act 3, symbiote three-way battle in District 51, all set at night. Overall, the plot arrangement seems to follow a formula. It's a commercial film, everyone does it this way. Let's see if they can bring something new to the action scenes. I just hope Venom isn't the only highlight of the whole movie. The more variations, the better. And there's also the crossover bug with catching criminals. Sony, please don't deceive us with the trailers again. I really want to know, how did your universe's characters cross over to the MCU? Venom 3 is tentatively scheduled to be released on October 25th this year. It shouldn't be a problem to introduce it to the mainland. So, how much are you looking forward to this movie?